Afternoon, people. Inheritance tax on the farmers. What are your thoughts on it? So I've just got a quick lunchtime break and I thought I'd get outside, get a little bit of vitamin D enhancing sunshine and sunlight, which is absolutely lovely. And I've had a quick flick through social media and seen loads of posts on about the farmers' protest up in London today. Looks like it's a brilliant turnout yet again. They're all up there enjoying the weather. There's a few vehicles turned up, but there's very, very big numbers. And as you well know, if you watch my videos, I 100% support everything that the farmers are doing. But it does open up the wider question, because when you put posts on about them, you always get the naysayers coming on saying, well, why should the farmers not pay inheritance tax when everyone else has to? Or why should they only pay 20% over 10 years when everyone has got to pay the full 40%? And that does raise the wider question. Rupert Lowe, the MP, has come out and said the inheritance tax itself is an iniquitous and unfair tax that should be completely done away with. And I have to say I 100% agree with that. I don't understand why, when somebody dies, their family should have to pay potentially 40% of a part of their estate to the government, to the state. Just why? Whatever their estate comprises of, whether it's property, whether it's jewellery, whether it's assets, whatever it might be, those people have spent their entire lives working towards acquiring those assets. They've paid multiple taxes: income tax, capital gains tax, dividend tax, corporation tax, VAT, insurance tax, petrol tax. They've paid taxes all their lives on every bit of money and every bit of expenditure they've ever had, but they've still managed to acquire and grow some assets, whatever that might be, whether it's their house or whether it's a business or anything else. Why then, having paid tax their entire life, when they die, should the government just come along and go, oh, we're having 40% of that, thanks very much? It doesn't even raise that much money. I think it's about 4 billion quid a year, 5 billion quid a year. We've given 4 billion quid to the Ukraine in the last 3 days. We've given 11.5 billion quid to overseas climate projects. We've spent 60 plus billion quid on foreign aid in the last 5 years. So we don't need the inheritance tax. It's basically a punishment tax. It's completely unfair, it's completely wrong, and nobody should be paying it. So yes, I do fully support the farmers, and I fully support the farmers' campaign, because it's wider than just inheritance tax. There's a whole range of things they're protesting about, and inheritance tax is just one of them. But more widely than that, I completely support getting rid of inheritance tax. It's a completely unfair tax, and I'm very well aware that only a small percentage of the population actually pay it. But that doesn't make any difference. Just because it only affects a certain number of people doesn't mean that if it's unfair it should be kept. Doesn't mean that it's a jealousy tax that other people that don't have any money or don't have the assets should point and laugh and say, oh yeah, tax them, we can't get it, we haven't got those assets, so go and tax them. That's not the way society should work. It should be based on fairness. And inheritance tax just ain't fair for anyone. Let's get rid of it, and let's support any MPs and any party that want to get rid of it. And let's support the farmers 100%.